Hi, my name's Ryan Miller, and I am an unusual broadcaster that comes to the Periscope platform. And somebody that you know has been listening to my messages over a period of time, and I primarily talk about internet safety. So, one of the things that I do as a broadcaster is that I come here and I'm talking to people for a purpose. And my purpose here is not what other things that you may be experiencing on social media, some of the things that you might see that are happening on Snapchat or Instagram or the YouTube videos. No, I'm not like Jake Paul, and no, I'm not like Glozell, and I'm not doing makeup. And now those things are fun and entertaining, but that's not me. I've been talking about internet safety, and I've been talking the very technical aspects of it, and the person that's sharing the video with you is because they have heard some of the things that I talk about. And I talk about internet safety around three different areas. I talk about awareness as to what's happening on these different social media platforms. If you're a young child, you know some of those. You know about Kik, and you know about Instagram, and you know about FaceTime, and ooVoo, and Skype, and all these different apps, and Musical.ly, and Dubsmash, and they're really fun. And you also know about the video games that are really fun. The Candy Crush and the Sky Jumper, and these are very fun things. But there's an aspect of the internet that kids aren't expected to know. You are just having a fun time playing these games, but what I talk about is the things that you're not aware of that can cause you harm and hurt you. So I've been talking to adults about some of these dangers and risks that happen online. And when I tell my message, I give them all of the evidence and the history of the things that I know. And you see them too. Because if you play video games, you know some of the things that are happening. And I don't need to tell you about that because you've seen it and heard it. You've seen the pictures come through your Snapchat, which are embarrassing, and you're like, oh, that's not good. And you see the comments that come to you that are a little uncomfortable, or maybe you know about cyberbullying. I don't need to tell you about it because you're there already. But when I'm talking to the parents and the grandparents, your aunts and uncles, I have a different message that I can tell them. And because I don't want to scare you, the child, the young adult, and I know that your grandparents, your aunts and uncles love you. They love you beyond your ability to understand how much they love you. But when they hear the things that I talk to them about, the bad stuff that's happening and how big that bad really is, they don't know how to help keep you safe and how to make choices relative to what's happening on social media and online. So what I want to do is I want to build a bridge between you and your parent or caregiver or your aunt, uncle, grandfather, or whoever is helping you navigate this crazy, dangerous world. And first of all, I want to say you're not doing anything wrong. As a young child, you have been given an incredible amount of responsibility in this crazy little device that may be in your hand or that little tablet. It's a tremendous amount of responsibility. And it's up to us parents to help keep you safe with that responsibility. But unfortunately, parents don't know all there is to know. And when they tuned into listening to me, they wound up learning things that they had no ability to understand. And I tell them things about the law, and I tell them things about when you download an application, that the child's not downloading an application, the parent's downloading the application. Every application you own on your phone is your parents' responsibility. They have there's a legal contract with your parents, and they're legally responsible for everything you do on your phone. And many parents are like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And that is a very big risk, particularly with some of the things that may be on your phone right now or what you may decide to put on your phone. And it's not just those things that you go and look at, it's those things that come to you. And unfortunately on the internet, block and delete don't mean anything, because once it's online, it's online. You can't make it go away. So I want to say that your parents know that you're a young child and you're a very good, upstanding child, but they were children too. And they made mistakes in their life. And they want to help keep you safe from mistakes that would have consequences that you can't imagine. The amount of bad people that are online, how it can affect your future in what you may to do in school, what you may want to do as far as a sport. And if you're lucky enough to want to go out and get a job, what we do on the internet is part of what those people decide. Those schools are going to look at what happened online to see if you're the right kind of person to come into our school. You want to be on our sporting team, but we want to see what kind of person you are, and what you do online is what they get to look at. And if you want a job, they're going to look at what you did in school and in your past to see if you're the right person for that job. So your parents or your caregivers have been listening to me, and they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. What do I do? And I say, first of all, I'm not saying this is your kid and they're in trouble and they're making bad choices and they got bad photos. I'm not saying that. If you're listening to me, I'm not saying that about you. I'm not saying that about you at all. But this little device is an incredible amount of responsibility. So what I want to tell you is that your parents and your caregivers love you immensely. And what they want to do is they want to start a new conversation with you, that they want to be a new kind of parent, a new kind of caregiver for you. That they don't want to take away your phone, they don't want to take away your video games, and they don't want you to stop doing what you're doing on those applications. And that's not what they want. But they want to have a conversation with you about those things that you use. They want to know how you use Snapchat and who you talk to on Snapchat, how you use Instagram, how you use Musical.ly or LiveMe or whatever application that you use. They want to learn about why you use it, how you use it, and they want to build a relationship with you that says, I'm okay with that. I'm okay that you make those funny music videos. But before you post that music video, I want to see what it looks like, because I want to make sure that you protect your modesty. I make sure you use language that is not making you look like somebody that you don't want to look like. And you know those text conversations that you have, they want to have visibility to see that you aren't going to say something in text that can have an unintended a problem inside your school, that text gets a screenshot and gets shared with everybody in school because you said something by mistake and you didn't mean it that way. Now, I talked to your parents about using this button. It's called a pause button in our brain, that before we send it, we read it, we think about it. What are people going to hear based upon what we say? But many adults don't have that pause button. I know I don't have that pause button. But they want to learn from you as to what is fun for that application, that channel you go on the internet. But they want to make things a little bit safer, one step at a time. And I'm asking you, if you're listening to me, that they're not doing this to cause you harm. But here's what happens. Young kids say, I want my privacy. I want my personal privacy. Unfortunately, everything you are doing online is not private. Everybody in the world has the ability to see everything you do and say online. It's called public. It's public information. When I say to your parents some big words, there is no expectation of privacy when you are in public. What that means is that what you do in public or what you do on a platform, on an application, that is public. And for you to assume that it is private, that not everybody can see it, that's not a true statement. Anybody can see, because there's things called screen capture. And there are things that can be video recorded. And you may not know where it goes and what people are doing with it, but there is a permanent record of everything you say and do online. So there is no privacy. But what you're really saying to your parents or your caregivers is, I want privacy from mom, dad, my aunt, uncle, or whomever. I don't want them to see it. And what does that mean when you're saying, I want the world to see it, but I don't want you to see it? And what your parents are saying, I am part of the world, and I want the ability to see it more than strangers do, because my best interests are important for you as opposed to somebody else's best interests. That me as a parent or caregiver, is the one that you should be able to say, show, and do anything to, more important than anybody else online. So they want to start a conversation. They want to sit down with you, share this video with you. They want to look at the technology that they put in their hands, because honestly, they may not have said this to you, but you don't own this device. You don't own that tablet. Your parents have to pay for this every month. They have a legal responsibility for everything that happens on site of this. So even though you treat this like your pet, this is your best friend, and everything that happens on here is, I need to make sure that I keep my Snapchat streak going. Even though it's very important to you, this is just a bunch of metal that you are borrowing from your parents. And honestly, I don't want to say this to your parents, but you shouldn't be owning this. You may hold it, but it has to be based upon the permission of your parents, that you need to borrow it from your parents. They need to allow you to have it based upon how well you handle the responsibility of it. Now, maybe this is the first time that they're going to look and see how you're using it and opening up and see how responsible you are. And if you're responsible and you're making wise choices, I say congratulations. That's a beautiful thing. And I'm proud of you for doing that. And I can't believe how proud they are of what kind of a young person you are. But at the same time, if they find something on here which was a bad decision, an embarrassing photo, an embarrassing video, or maybe worse, I want to promise you, and Mom and Dad, I want you to promise them it's a problem, but it's not a problem without a fix. It is not a problem without a fix. That whatever is on that phone doesn't change how much you love them. It doesn't change any of that. It just changes now that you're aware of something that you weren't aware of before. And young child, Mom and Dad is going to forgive you because they love you unconditionally. They will forgive you, but they want to help so it doesn't get worse. And you may be in a situation right now that you're getting bullied, or people are asking you to do things that you're uncomfortable doing. There's a reason for that. You know in your body that this is not good. This doesn't feel good. You're being pressured and you don't know who to talk to. I'm hoping this video gets to you before that those feelings are pulling inside of you. When I do my message and I talk about this, I go to schools, I go to youth groups, and I go to other sporting groups. I've done private conversations with parents, and I've seen the child that are in trouble, and they haven't gone to Mom and Dad because they're afraid, they're embarrassed. I'd rather you go to Mom and Dad and be afraid, embarrassed, than something worse happen. Because I know Mom and Dad are going to love you through it, and they're going to help you in that moment. And you know, it might get a little bit harder, that you may not get access to the phone as much as you want to. You may not get access to the internet as you may have been used to. But I promise you that if you learn from some of the things your parents are learning about and they're talking to you about, and that you are able to be safe, that you will get more freedom. If you're able to behave in a way to protect yourself, to protect your modesty, that is not going to affect your future, they're going to give you more freedom. And you will be able to experience the beautiful aspects of the internet in a way that's safe for you, and have fun and learn and play and have a great time. But they may have to take some steps back first. So I want you to know, and Mom and Dad, you may need to say this out loud right now while I'm talking about this, and say this and look at your child and look at them in the eyes and say, I love you. I love you more than you ever know. And whatever is on here, I don't care. I will allow you to get this phone right now and make it go away, because I probably don't want to see it because you're my little child. And go take 15 minutes and make it go away. But let's start anew fresh. And let's learn what is on here. And let's talk about what each of these things do and what they are to you. So I wanted to do this because I've been talking to adults for the longest time, and I go on social media channels. I'm an internet safety guy, and I go on all these channels, and I see young children. I see them with their location settings on. I see them doing cartwheels. I see them singing songs, and I see the comments coming in. And all of those comments are not nice people. And if you're in there, you know what I'm talking about. So you see them happening. And I try to talk to the children that are in there, and they see me as a parent, and they say, go away, and they block me. They remove me. I'm just trying to keep you safe, kids. Just trying to keep you safe. And I know you don't want a parent coming in and saying, stop doing that. So you block me, and I understand that. But then I try to get to your parents. And because your parents don't know what's happening, they wind up saying, it's not my child. They say, it's not my kid. And again, I'm not saying it's you. But I'm saying there are children all over the internet, on YouTube, on Snapchat, on LiveMe, all over the place, on Kick, on Ask FM, that are in trouble, and I see them. And I'm trying to get to the parents to say, you need to look at what these kids are doing. When I do a presentation in front of a school, within 6 mouse clicks, I pull up one kid. And I'm not trying to single out one kid, but I say all of this information about the kid, and I see the parents in the seats slinking down because there are parents, because they said it's not my kid is not doing this, but they had no evidence as to what their child was doing. And I wind up telling the audience of 500, 600 people where a 9-year-old goes to school, what bus they ride, what the bus number is, what's the intersection of their bus stop. I know what your favorite restaurant is. I know what your favorite music is. Now, I'm a good person online because I'm trying to help. But within 6 mouse clicks, I can tell all this information about someone's child because they're all over the internet. And honestly, young person, you don't know how to keep yourself private. I wouldn't expect you to know how to keep yourself private. But all of that information is given to people that don't necessarily want to do good things with it. You may have seen them, maybe not. I pray you haven't seen them, but they're out there. So this video, I wanted to help your parents. And I want to say, parents, you also have done the best you can with what you know where you are right now. And I say, good job. Good job. And if you've tuned into my broadcast or if you've seen my other material, that you have more knowledge at this point. You have more awareness as to how dangerous this internet is. And not to go overboard, to take it slowly, because you do not want to scare your child. You want to love them. So with this new information you learn from me, if you're part of the Parent Dome family and the University of Information of Learning and what's happening there, one step at a time, please do not take this device away from your kid. Please do not do that. You've already given it to them. Don't take it away. Because, young person, I don't want them to take it away. I want them to give you the ability that you can go in the other room after I'm done broadcasting and take off the stuff that you don't think is really smart. Go delete the texts. Go delete the photos. Go delete the videos. And then come back and have a conversation. Give your mom and dad a hug. And say, Mom, Dad, you know what? What that guy was saying is, he's right. There is some stuff that I was nervous about. I don't want to tell you about it, but there's some stuff I was nervous about. And I got rid of it right now. But I understand that you love me and you want to keep me safe. And I will share with you your device back. That you're going to give Mom and Dad back what they already have. And I promise that they will help you through this. And when it's all said and done, and you go through the learning of the different things that you're learning about, that they will give you this, and you will have the ability to use it based upon what they think is safe for you, how old you are, how responsible you are, how well you've been doing your chores and making your bed and doing the things they ask you to do, that they'll give this back to you. And that they will check in with you to make sure that you are safe. So I hope you as a family, I hope you as children understand that we do this because we care so much about you. I care. I'm a stranger. I'm a dad. I have a 16-year-old girl. And you may be able to tune in. Maybe mom and dad will share some of the things as to what's happened with my girl in her past, what's happened to me. That is part of the reason why I do what I do. I have captured many bad people online. Many of those bad people are in jail right now. One of those bad people came after my girl. Came after many girls in our area. He's in jail now too. We don't want you to find those bad people. But because they're strangers online, they find you. And it's mom and dad and whoever takes care of you. They want to protect you from those bad people. Because you may not know how to find out who is a real person. So thank you guys. I hope that you understand that mom and dad are just trying to help. And I was just a tool to help. If you guys want to talk to me, your mom and dad will find a way for you to talk to me. I do conversations that you guys can be in a video room with me and we can have a conversation. If you need me to help talk on your behalf to help you with protecting, I can do that. So it's really funny. I just want to share something. I'm recording this video live and people are commenting in the video. And there's some comments that are coming in from strangers online. Now, you are not going to see those comments because I'm not allowing them to see those comments. But there's some people that are claiming out here some pretty nasty and mean things. And I'm actually going to remove them from my conversation. But these are the kind of people that you will see online. These are the kind of mean people that are out there. I would ask that person that made those inappropriate comments to come in and step up and say it again, because I really like to capture your identity so I can hold you accountable what kind of young person you are. So your parents can be an example for these other kids. You will be an example for what kind of things I was just talking about. So I would welcome them to come back in and comment. Now, unfortunately, people, you can't see this. But inside of one platform, inside the platform of Periscope, and there's many platforms. Facebook Live has it. LiveMe has it. When people, strangers, can come in and comment in a broadcast, they can be pretty gross, vulgar, and disgusting. And just so you kids know, this is the application doesn't have to stop that. It's not an application's responsibility to keep you safe, because you shouldn't be there to begin with. But since you are there, it's up to you to keep yourself safe. But you don't necessarily know how to do that. And that's why this is a very important message. Because all these different platforms that are out there, these different applications you're using, your parents want to find out what is the best way for you to be safe. And if it's a place you even should be, because there's some of them that you just shouldn't be, because there's no way to be safe. It's not possible. So I want to say in closing that mom and dad love you. They found out about me, and I talk to them like I talk to an adult. And I give them information from my world experience and my knowledge of technology as an adult. And unfortunately, when I do that, it is overwhelming for them, and they want to freak out, and they're like, what do I do? And that's what happens to me. I receive all the parents saying, what do I do? Or they run away. There's two options. They say, what do I do now? Or they run away. And one of the first things they do is they want to take this away from you. And I don't want them to do that. And that's why I made this video. So I hope this went well. If you or your mom or dad have any questions, there is a way that people can communicate with me. I just put up an email address that you can email me, and it's private. Nobody else can see that email. That's called a secure email, and that nobody can talk to that. And if you want to have a video conversation with me after that email, I can talk to you in video. I won't ask you to come on video. I want you to cover your camera, and I won't come on video with minor children without their parents. That's a rule, because I'm not your parent. So if we want to have a video conversation, I make myself available to that, because my goal is to help you, to help your family, and to be safe. And my message is about from the dangers, risks, and threats, and the permanence of what happens online. Because there are dangers, there are risks, there are actual threats, because people receive those threats, and the internet is permanent. Once you say something online, it's there forever. and we just want to help you. I want to help you. I want to help your parents help you to be safe. So thank you. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions for me, you can talk to me through email. If you want to go on video, it would be with your parents, and I can talk to them too. Thanks, kids. And this is a really tough thing. And I want you to be brave as you go through this conversation with your folks. Take care.